Hi there, welcome to this Yuhi Zebras video tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to create a kind of high pass metallic type Psytrance type lead. If you're into Psytrance, you'll have heard this kind of sound many times. It's a very cutting lead, it'll cut through most things. And as per usual, we'll just start with Zebra, synthesis, patches, local, an initializer patch. Now I've already kind of drew a little pattern for it. So first thing we're going to do, of course, is set up the oscillator. Now we're going to use 11, and I'm not going to use any of these to give it a bit of freedom. Going to drop it a couple of octaves. So using the tuning, we're going to drop it 24 semitones. And as per always, I like my volume to be max, and because we're using the 11 setting, I'm going to put the width up. I'll just let you hear what happens when I do that. Well, hopefully you heard that getting wider, more out, spread out into the stereo width. In fact, as I always do when I'm doing this, I completely forgot. We're not actually going to use this oscillator module. We're going to use a saw, silky saw, and we're going to put it all the way back to wave 1. Sorry about that. It's just a softer sound. We don't really need the really harshness of the pure saw wave on this. So I'll just set this up again. Sorry about that. So that was 11. Detune by 24. And just put the key follow to normal. And I'm basically leaving everything here. I'm not touching anything here. We're just using that as it is. And we could maybe put that to, depending on the kind, we'll just leave it on poly for the moment. But depending on the type of sound that you're after, if you're wanting it to slide and stuff, you could maybe use those different settings. But in this instance, I'm just going to leave it like this. Okay, that's not too bad. Now, this sound really all comes from the XMF filter. So we're just going to add an XMF filter, and as you can see, if you right click on it, it goes same sidechain 1. We just want to leave that. There's no reason to change any of that. We're going to change some of this. We want it to be a high pass sound. Okay, you can't really hear much of that at the moment. It's because of where the cutoff is. So if we bring the cutoff down to about 11 o'clock maybe, around about there for the moment. But we'll just change these. We want parallel, we want same, and analog. Yeah, that should do us. And we'll pop the resonance up a bit. Now remember, a lot of these sounds should be unique to you. So really, all I'm really doing, I guess, is giving you somewhere to start. So your cut-off and resonance doesn't have to be exactly the same as mine, is what I'm trying to say. I think we'll modulate the cut-off with an envelope. We'll use envelope 2. And we'll just adjust the XMF filter and the envelope number 2 to how we like it. So let's mess around with the key follow. Now I like that. I like what it does to the sound there. It's thinning it out, but giving it a bit of kind of low mid there as well. So I like that kind of sound, and we'll mess around with overload. Yeah, I don't want too much of that. It doesn't have to be that strong. The envelope is obviously controlling the cut-off's modulation, so depending on how you've got your envelope settings here will obviously affect the cut-off either a lot, a little, or whatever you like really. So let's have a look at our envelope. Yeah, sustain down. Yeah, that's nice. Right, I like it there. Now let's just mess around with some of the envelope settings. Now the great thing is, and something I would advise you to do, if you use this type of sound in your track, modulate all of these things. Modulate the envelope 2 modulation parameter, modulate the decay and the sustain. Just go crazy with your modulation. Gives the sound more movement, and obviously if it's got more movement it's more interesting. And just don't be scared to mess around with everything, you know. So let's kind of mess around with maybe the filter FM and the offset. That'll be nice to modulate if you like that little real high pitched, almost resonant sound that comes in. Be good fun. That's okay, I'll leave it at that. Okay, I quite like that as it is already. Now, you could keep it like that if you wanted and add some effects, of which I am going to add later, or you could add a shaper and just mess around with the shaper's different settings. These are almost like bit crushing and distortion, really. Just really making it a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Edgy. I like crush. And of course you can modulate all of these again if you so desire. Let's try modulating the edge with envelope 1. There is somewhat there, but not so much. I don't think we need it. And this is something I do all the time. If you add something and you don't really think it makes that much difference, then don't add it. Try and be as clean as you can, I guess. That's the best way. That's the only way I can describe it, really. Yeah, I think that's okay for the shaper. And now basically, that's your sound. So if I listen to that just with a kick and bass. Excellent. But of course, if you want to, you can add effects, which always adds different levels of interest. What can we add? Let's add some chorus, maybe. I'll just take the kick and bass off for the time being. And with this chorus, do you hear how when you put the feedback up, you get that kind of metallic sound? And that's kind of what I'm after. I might full mix. Put the EQ on, boost the high frequencies and the low frequencies if you want. Obviously what I've done there is reduced the mix amount so it's not just full chorus, and then it's made the sound stronger. Okay, and maybe some even more EQ. I'll probably add a delay and a reverb, why not? I'll just put the sends all the way up for the delay and reverb, but we'll work on the EQ first. And I'm just going to really cut out some of the lows, add some low mids, and some mids. That sounds okay to me. And then delay. I like dotted delays, so I'll use, what should we use? Multi-tap. Make that 1/8 dotted full mix. Getting some weird effects now. And then add your reverb. Again, I'll put it full wet, dry, but I'll just manipulate the amount of reverb I want to go to the sound using the send and return. That's a bit too much. And not forgetting that you can automate all kinds of stuff. Mess around with your cutoff. I feel that's the wrong one. Let's see, so Zebra 2. We have an XMF in there, so XMF should be down here somewhere. 3, 1. Cut off, okay. The only reason I'm drawing it in like this, I would never normally do this myself personally because I like to play it in live, but I don't have a MIDI keyboard in front of me at the moment. You can do that with any parameter that you so desire. And as always, save it. Make sure you save it in the right place. And it's all yours. Hope you got some enjoyment out of that. And if you're into that kind of sound, I hope you use it in some of your tracks. I would love to hear it. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.